What is up, everyone? Welcome back to the Engineers That Filters podcast, episode 164. I am your host, Jacob Thompson, and tonight I'm drinking the same beer I drank last week, Half Acre Tome Hazy Pale Ale. Sorry, I don't drink that much anymore, all right? I'm not going through a six-pack every week like some people, so I'm just leftover beer. But I realized last week drinking this beer that all hazy IPAs taste the same now, and it's fine, because they're good, but it's like, Joseph, I need something different. I need something a little spicy, something a little fruity, maybe. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Something a little different, something like Steel Toe Brewing Size 7
Ooh.
IPA perchance.
I've heard that's one of the best breweries in the cities.
It's pretty good. It's like down the road from where I work, so we've gone there a couple times after work. It's pretty good.
Nice.
Size 7, that's like small. It's like a small shoe.
Yeah. They also have a size 9, which is like their double.
Was it like
dry
7% or something? Like, what is there like a play on words or?
hop. It's 7% and 77 IBUs.
I gotcha.
Look at
Very
that. Anyways, I'm Gabe, and I don't have a beer this week because I didn't go through a six-pack this week. I didn't go to the liquor store at all this week because I got a summary of how much I was spent on liquor at the liquor store for the year, and I was like, ugh. So I have a lot of reward points, guys.
Your liquor store has a reward system? That's kind of fucked up. Like, it's
Yeah.
cool.
Is that
but
even
that
legal?
seems kind of...
So for every dollar you spend, you get a point, and then you can use that for like getting discounts on like fancy shit, or you can like straight up use it for cash after so many points. And I signed up like not that long ago, and I have a lot of points. So, anyways, I did manage to pawn some Kahlua how do you say it? Kahlua?
Kahlua.
I said it right.
Kahlua?
Off
Coffee
of
liqueur?
Yes, when I was home for Christmas for free, and I had the other ingredients. So this is my first sip of a White Russian ever.
Oh no.
No,
I
you
am-
gotta stir it with
no.
your finger to
I am
really be like the
100%
dude.
expecting to hate it. Like, I know I'm not gonna like it, just based on I watched the how to drink video on it, and the guy literally was like, "This tastes like having a coffee and going to the doctor's office at the same time."
Okay,
So,
but he admitted that he used Mr. Black, and it has
Yeah.
to be Kahlua. You cannot use
Yes.
any other coffee liqueur. It has to be Kahlua.
so that's what this is.
Here we go.
So here we go.
Let's see.
I'm not a fan.
The wins.
It's a
the
dessert
coffee
drink.
taste is good, but the vodka mixes very oddly with
It's
it.
vodka in there? Oh my
Yeah.
god.
Yes,
Yeah.
yeah.
It's vodka, Kahlua, and like heavy,
Heavy
cream.
cream.
That's so bad. Like, literally, I feel like any other liquor would be better.
But then
Yeah.
it wouldn't be a White Russian. That's why it's
Well,
called a Russian.
Jesus Christ.
Mm.
Dayton, what do you got concocted over there?
All right. Well, you know, I'm just drinking something pretty plain tonight. I got a Two-Hearted.
Okay, it's a classic.
Yeah.
That's a good choice.
Yep. You know, you can't go wrong with them.
Hey, what are the odds you finish your White Russian by the end of the podcast?
Very low.
Hey, I drank one on Halloween. You can drink that.
I do have a. That wasn't even a true White Russian because they
It
didn't
had
have
Bailey's instead
yeah,
of heavy cream.
they didn't have heavy cream.
Oh, dude,
Yeah,
that would
but I
make
don't
it
like
way
Bailey's
better.
either.
Okay. I will do my best to finish it by the end of this, but you will see a lot of wincing if you're watching this on video.
Which you can do on our YouTube channel where we post the podcast every Monday, along with on podcast services. So go check that out if you want to do that. But yeah, welcome back to the show, everyone. This is the Engineers Without Filters podcast. We are back in the new year, doing more regular scheduling. So this is our second episode back to back, finishing up the year compass. But going forward, we'll be doing alternating weeks. So next week we'll be streaming on our Twitch channel on Thursday night, playing some games together, and then back to a podcast episode, and so on and so forth. So you'll get a new episode once every 2 weeks, but if you can't wait that long, come check us out on Twitch, ewf_podcast. But yeah, we're back, and I don't know if anything's happened crazy in the last week. Joseph, you said you almost got hit by a bus. What happened there?
I was leaving work today, and the light turned green, and I do my usual glance, I kind of only half glanced, started going, and I see this school bus come careening from my left side. Car next to me started honking. I was like in the intersection at this point. It's like a T intersection, so I have to turn. And they, I don't know, whatever. They were flying. They were like halfway in the intersection before they stopped,
Jesus
and
Christ.
there were at least 3 cars honking. I was one of them. And I saw the driver look up at the light in front of him, see that it was red, and then look at the our light to his left, look up there and just kind of like, what? And then by that time I was like passing. I was like, you got to figure your shit out, dude.
Were there kids on the bus?
Yeah.
I don't think so, because I mean, it was what, like 6, quarter to 6 at that point.
Okay.
Almost.
That's a yikes.
Yeah.
That's a massive yikes.
They should
Yeah, it
yank
was
their
pretty
license.
fucked up. The cars behind me so it's like a double left-hand turn lane. The cars on the left lane, they had to like go around him because he was like in the lane
Oh my
or
god.
in the intersection. Yeah. I will say,
Driving are
school buses have pretty good stopping power because I watched him hit the brakes practically.
I mean, I guess that's good to know. But yeah, that's scary. Shit.
Yeah.
I have a new development. So, longtime fans of this podcast, and you guys will know that I've had an issue waking up in the morning for as long as I can remember.
Mhm.
I had a good system going for a bit last year where I'd wake up, watch an episode of anime, and then start my day. But that fell off pretty hard at the end of last year. So I'm trying to get back on the wagon here. And I introduced 2 new things to my morning routine that I'm hoping will help it staying power. One, I prep my coffee maker the night before, so I wake up, start the coffee. All right.
Ooh.
Then, while the coffee's going, I get my anime episode queued up, and then I also make my bed, which is something I have never done in my entire life. But I've heard people say like, if you make your bed to start the day, that'll like start a chain reaction to like you being more productive, because you like starting with something small. I don't know if it's true or not, but placebo effect. So I'm making the bed. I got my decaf coffee because I don't do caffeine. Watch my anime episode and then start my day. So far this week I'm 4 for 4. We'll see if I can continue that going forward, but we're trying it out. We're trying it out.
Nice.
Gabe or Dayton, anything else happen this week?
You can go ahead, Dayton.
Yeah.
I'll bring up the rear.
Oh. You're lucky that I already did your birthday project, but I could save this for an entire year.
I can say
For
whatever
this year?
shit I want. Nobody clipped that.
No, I haven't really been doing anything that cool this week. I recently got a film camera, just an old point and shoot. So I just got that. I just got the film for it today. So I went out for, I don't know, a little walk, took some pictures. I think it'll be fun. Yeah, that's about it.
All right. For those cameras, do you develop the film yourself, or do you just bring it in somewhere still?
Nah, you got to bring it in somewhere.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, in the
Dayton's
red
got a
room,
dark room in
soaking
his
them. Yeah.
apartment.
Honestly, would not be surprised if Dayton had a room like that in his place. Just knowing
Dude,
Dayton.
how big do you think my apartment is?
I mean, I haven't been there, but I could see you installing that kind of thing. I'm
If
just
you had a
saying.
second bedroom, you think that's what you would use it for, not like, I don't know, anything else?
Yeah.
This hobby I just picked up. New room. I mean, dedicate a room for it.
I mean, honestly, Gabe, that's not that far fetched. Like,
No, that's true.
I can see it.
it'd be that, or it'd be as a pack raft crafting room. He's just
Oh, that's
cranking out
what
bad
Joseph needs.
Hmm
jokes.
Yeah,
I
that's true.
don't know where I'm gonna start making this.
Just do it in the room you're right now, the guest bedroom.
I don't know if I've got a good surface, a good work surface.
Get
with
a
good
get a
lighting.
folding table.
Lighting in here is kind of shit.
I used a headlamp
we'll
for
see.
most of the time.
Yeah, that's not a bad idea. Good thing I've got my headlamp in my desk right here.
Oh my gosh.
There you go. You're prepped and ready to go.
All right,
Gub,
Gabe,
what's going on?
bring it up the rear.
Yeah, with the most exciting story. No, my week was pretty standard. Didn't get a month worth of stories. Just hang out with friends, soccer, the usual. I didn't get hit by a bus, but the other
That's pretty
day the buses stopped running because it was so icy. On the one day I needed to go in office and meet up with a professor for work. So I decided to walk it, and it didn't really sink in that the reason the buses didn't run was because it was icy, despite that being the statement.
Yeah.
It was only like a 35-minute walk, like on Google. It ended up being a little bit more, but I didn't fall.
Okay.
I was very close. I didn't, and I got like 14,000 steps in that day because I walked back because I was like, "Fuck it, let's do it." So yeah, it was a weird day.
Yeah. Do you get a little slip and slide in? Just like skating
Yeah, I
down
should have
the
just
sidewalk.
emailed the guy and been like, "Hey, can't meet up. Uh, I don't want to die." But he made
I
it
don't
in
know.
too.
Knowing professors, that might not have been a good enough excuse.
Yeah.
No, he also walked, and then he gave me some espresso from some like $800,000 espresso machine.
Oh,
So that's kind of a win.
Okay.
Hmm.
Very
It's
nice.
very fancy.
Very nice.
So
you got to
There we
get those like crampons that you like the rubber
Mm-hmm.
things that you put over your shoes.
yeah,
And they got the metal spikes.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, it was just like a sheet of ice. There was like no snow to even like walk on. Even right now, I mean, I'm sure you know, Joseph, but
Yeah, it's
the sidewalks are
pretty
just
slick.
very icy.
How cold is it in Minnesota right now?
Not at all. It's like
That's why
20.
it's so icy.
It was,
Okay, yeah.
I mean, it was like freezing rain the other day.
Yeah.
It got up to like 34, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah. 'Cause
Supposed to
it's,
get
Yeah,
up
like
to like
34, 35.
37 on Monday.
it's been 50 here the past couple of days, so I was wondering how warm it was over there. But
Climate change, man.
I know this winter has been very
Like
weird.
we got record-breaking snowfall in like 3 days, and now it went up
No.
35, and now it's just ice. It's just
Yeah,
like
now a half an inch of ice on the ground.
fucking nuts.
Love it, love it. All right, well let's get into it. This week we are wrapping up our year compass, which is our version of New Year's resolutions that Dayton introduced to us many years ago. And this week we'll be looking forward to 2023, or kind of our goals and aspirations for what we want our lives to look. So if you're playing along at home, and you can, if you go to yearcompass.com, you can download it or print it off fill out yourself. But we'll be starting on page 15, which is this is what my next year will be about, and it has 8 categories that we, all end up picking relaxation and hobbies. But we'll see if people mix it up again today. But yeah, we'll just go around in a circle. We'll do 3 of them, whatever ones you want, and yeah, let's get into it. Dayton, I'm going to you first once again.
All right. Yeah, I wasn't as proactive as you, Jacob, when you for the podcast studied what you.
I was ready, man. I'm highlighting what I want to talk about.
All right, so
I'm prepared.
I'm gonna say relaxation, hobbies, and creativity first. I know that's
Okay.
that's the staple one.
Rip the Band-Aid off.
Rip the Band-Aid off. Exactly. So yeah, I'm just gonna keep up my Saturday ritual, consuming an energy drink. I know that's like a lot of people wouldn't think that as like relaxing, but like to me, like that, I don't know, like it's it's like therapeutic. And then as I briefly mentioned, I just got a point and shoot old film camera, so that's going to be a fun creative outlet because I've never really delved into the whole like photography thing. It's just never been something that I've really done a lot of. I know Gabe's kind of done some of that, so I don't know, be fun to shake it up, try a new outlet out.
Oh yeah, I'm excited to hear how it goes and see some hot pics.
Oh yeah.
Film photos are super cool.
Oh baby, just send me a feet pic. Save one for me. Joseph, what do you want to start with?
I'll start with physical health / fitness. I want to try to bike 20 miles per week during the summer, which I purposely picked as a low number, so that I can do it at least one day. So it's at least one day of biking per week. I say low number, but for like a road bike, a 20-mile bike ride isn't anything crazy. And then I did climbing gym ? I've been kind of thinking about joining the gym that
Are you gonna join MVP like
was
everyone
gonna say-
else?
I've been thinking about it. The biggest thing holding me back is just cost. It's pretty expensive.
So expensive.
Is that Gabe? Is that the one that me and you went to with Cooper?
Yeah,
The one that was
they
by-
one
they
Cooper's
increased their
does, yeah.
membership by like 1.5 times recently, but they like have way more guest pass, so you can have like basically you can bring in 2 free friends a month, but
Okay.
for the for that privilege, you have to pay like a lot.
It's like $60 a month or something. Last I saw,
I think it's more. Well, there's a promo going on right now, but
could be.
it's
But
a lot
yeah,
more
so
than
it's
that.
like trying to justify that.
Mhm.
And they have like other amenities there.
They have
They
a
have a
sauna.
sauna. Yeah.
Exactly. Is that worth $60 a month? We'll
Honestly,
find
maybe.
out.
Honestly, I would. God, I miss sauning so much.
They have their own gym and a yoga. They have yoga classes too.
Yeah,
So.
which I've been wanting to do yoga classes again because I really liked the yoga class I took in college.
Mhm.
So maybe we'll see. I don't know. It's my schedule kind of sucks with work since I work
Yeah.
so late. I mean, but I just go in the mornings at that point.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
we'll see.
Mhm.
It's something that's been on my mind, and I'm gonna try to look into it a bit more coming up.
Hell yeah. Dub.
I guess I'll do relaxation, hobbies, and creativity.
All right. All right.
What?
I mean, some of these kind of bleed into like physical health and fitness, but like for example, the first one is I really want to do a century ride, which for the non bike literate, that's 100 miles century. Ideally, I want to do like more of like a gravel ride than like a road ride and make it a little
Mhm.
bit more interesting, like the one that Joseph and I and Dayton talked a lot about in the last week's episode was like 60 miles. So
Wait, Joseph, what is the name of that one?
yeah, what was the name of that?
I don't
the
remember
ride?
the Smasher.
the
Smash it.
Oonga
Something like that.
Boonga.
I don't really remember.
The
Definitely
Nutcracker,
doesn't come
maybe?
up
I'm not
again.
sure.
Yeah. Yeah, so I want to do a whole century. I think I can do that pretty easily if I just kind of get a little bit more consistent with riding, hence the bike trainer behind me. Um, I also want to do more creative outlet stuff, especially now that it's like the winter. I've been trying to explore new ways to be like more creative, and I think that's not something I do a whole lot of. So that's been kind of fun, touching a bunch of different stuff, but nothing's really stuck just yet. Um, and then on the relaxation side, I definitely want to do a trip out to. I have a couple places in mind, either California or New York City, because those are two places I kind of want to go. Kind of want to challenge myself a little bit, go someplace new by myself. Um, yeah, I think it could be fun.
Very nice. I want to follow Joseph and do physical health and fitness. Um, so currently I'm running 3 times a week, which I think is pretty good. Like I'm happy that I've got that routine kind of in now. But I kind of want to increase that frequency either by doing like weight training or just running more. But I'm happy that I'm doing a consistent thing and I want to keep that up for as long as I can. The other thing I put in this category that I think it fits because it's kind of like physical health from a like nutrition perspective is like I want to try expanding my diet a little bit more and like trying more cultures, like going home for break and trying so many different like cultures of food was really really fun. And I just haven't like tried new restaurants a lot lately because I kind of got my groove here and just kind of stick with it. So yeah, I want to try to do some exploring and find some food from new cultures. And often food that's not from America is a lot healthier. So I think it'll probably be for the best overall there. And then also just like eat more vegetarian and vegan meals when I can. So
Mm.
yeah,
Like,
I'm not even close to switching, but
Don't
I
leave me
like
alone.
no, I like I enjoy vegetarian vegan food, but I also still enjoy meat, and it's also just really convenient. So like I don't see myself full switching anytime soon, but I enjoy the food, and I think it's more creative a lot of times. So
One of us. One of us.
I think
you're
I
not gonna
think
get me.
I think the
us.
bug may have bitten.
You don't, Dane. You underestimate how lazy I am. Like it's so much easier to buy chicken every week and make a chicken deal like dish. So
I don't know.
I
I
mean,
make the
we'll
same
see, but
lunch every week.
so
Doesn't
do
take me
I.
that long.
Yeah.
Chickpeas and onions and some seasonings.
I mean, I've been eating vegetarian stuff here and there. I mean, I love my lentils, so. But yeah, we'll see what happens. Dayton, back to you.
I'm gonna do mental health and self knowledge. So I said be more mindful of when I need to take a mental break, even though I want to say yes. So I mean, I think, and kind of like it's kind of ironic because I think in last year's Year Compass I said like my answer to the when will I say yes to things, I said when I have no reason not to or something like that, or
Mm.
just some
Mhm.
like bullshit answer where it's like I'm gonna say yes to everything.
Mhm.
And now I'm like, yeah, I'm not gonna say yes to everything. I think I'm gonna be a little bit more picky about it. Because I definitely do need to relax a little bit more. Spend some time doing things other than just being go 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 go. And then I put down read 2 self-help books. And I that's a pretty like loose term. One of the books that I've downloaded already on my Kindle is it's like I think it's called like 4,000 weeks maybe. And it's like time management for mere mortals or something. Um, so I'm interested to read that. And then I think I had another one, but I forgot the title of it. But similar to Joseph, I put the bar pretty low, because I know for a fact that I can at least read two of those books over the
Yep.
course of the year.
We love realistic expectations.
Mhm.
Joseph.
Fuck, I'll do it.
You had so much
Alright.
time. Oh, you're just gonna do
RHC, baby. Relaxation, hobbies, and creativity. Assembling my pack raft. I've got it in the box right next to my desk so that I'll see it, and I'll I'll be more likely to work on it.
Have you cut the fabric?
Yes, I
Okay.
cut the fabric before Christmas. That was the most stressful arts and crafts activity I've had since the third grade.
Mm-hmm.
I've never been so stressed using scissors in literally years. It was awful. But I did a pretty good job, I think. For
It
the
doesn't
most
need
part.
to be perfect.
And that's kind of I was watching like the tutorial videos on like how to actually seam seal it, and it sounds like he designed it in a way that like the edges aren't that important.
No, they're not. And even if it's like an inch off on either side, really not gonna make that big of a difference.
Oh, well within an inch.
Yeah.
Like maybe 2 centimeters at the most.
Yeah,
So,
you're fine.
and then I want to try to do a solo trip, maybe with the pack raft. We'll see. I know I had it on my year compass last year, and I didn't get around to it, but I'm hoping I can. The more I talk about it, the more it'll feel like I'll actually do it. So yeah.
Gubberuni.
That's a new one.
Yeah, yeah. I'm trying things out, New year.
Jacob Rooney. I'm gonna do. I'll do friends and community. I think last year was really good for me on that front, but I want to take it up another notch. Specifically, I think I did a lot of biking on my own just because it's a lot easier to do that on your own time and at your own pace, and there's no like scheduling or like worrying about pace. But I definitely want to find like a more consistent group of people or community to ride bikes with. I don't think I told this story on the podcast before, but there's a couple people I met on Bumble BFF that I went with. That was
Oh, that
it
actually
was
works. I'm surprised.
Huh.
I'll have to tell you guys about it after.
I think you
I
told
mean,
me
some of the people
about
are
it
genuinely like really
on
cool, but
Saturday.
there are some weird people. But that's just
That's
I don't
everything.
think it's the app. I just think it's how people are. So yeah, I definitely think I'm like getting to know more people and kind of like filling that out. But I want to head down, and then yeah, I think that's the big thing. I guess I also have getting more involved with the soccer friend group as time goes on, which is nice. And just spending more time with them. I'm going on a party bus with them in a couple weeks. That'll be interesting.
Wow. Okay. Where to?
Stillwater. It's
Okay.
for those who are not in Minnesota, it's like I was gonna say Frankenmuth, but that's kind of a Michigan thing too. It's like a very touristy like kind of like town close on it's on the river of the Mississippi, or no, not the Mississippi, on the border between Wisconsin and Minnesota. Yeah, that'll be interesting. I know like I don't know, 45% of the people, 40%, not half.
Less than half.
Yeah, it was just a
Okay.
big group, and like this is $30 a person. So
Excited to hear stories about that later on.
oh, it'll be interesting. Yeah.
I also am gonna do friends and community. So yeah, like Gabe said, I also feel like I had a pretty good year overall with friendships. I feel like I just had really good bonds with people. So I just want to continue those friendships. For like Lissa and Anna here, at grad school, like this is the year that people are gonna start leaving. So I want to try to keep those up, even if we're apart. My friend Javid, who I've been helping with stream, want to stay close with him. My buddy Chris from high school. I hope that we can still talk as much as we've been talking. And then Perkins doing the podcast with him has been really good and fun for staying in contact with him. So that's all solid. I want to talk to you guys more often, which we will because we'll be doing this weekly. But want to kind of grow that back up as well this year. And then I also kind of want to find a sense of community or just find some kind of group that I feel like I can be a part of and feel kind of like comfortable in. So a few ways I have of like to do that maybe is getting more involved in like online communities I'm a part of. Like there's a lot of like YouTube channels and podcasts that I've been fans of for years, but I've never really engaged with the community because I was kind of anxious about talking to strangers on the internet because you just like know so little information about people. But it's also kind of low risk because you're on the internet and they don't know you either. So
Right.
I want to try to put myself out there more in those communities. Also, when I move back to Minneapolis, kind of like Joe said, maybe join like a gym or something, or like Gabe, do some sport and just trying to meet people that way. And then also, I have one more thing. I'm going to save it for the next round because I don't want to spoil it, but I'll bring it up in the last round here. Yeah, Dane, what's the last one you want to talk about?
I'm gonna do a better tomorrow.
Oh, okay.
So I put continue to be a good influence on my Whitehall friends, because I've heard, well, so I've talked to a few different of my friends here, and like the big one was like they're like, oh, like I'm really happy that like you're like getting us more involved with doing like sports and things like that, because like when I first came up here, like I was like, oh, like there's like the VAC, like like we can play soccer there, and then like we played soccer for a little bit, and then they started brainstorming, and they're like, oh yeah, we can play like basketball, and we can play ultimate, we can play flag football, and a lot of them have said like they're like, oh yeah, like I'm super thankful that like we're starting to get more active now. And then I had another one of my friends just today that I was out walking with when he was walking his dogs, and he was like, yeah, like I'm thankful that, or he said I almost pulled the Dayton week, and I was like what do you mean by that? And he's like oh, like not drinking during the week, and I was like, oh well, well here I am on the podcast drinking a beer, but he's like yeah, I'm trying to cut down on my alcohol intake during the week. So I think it's nice that I'm able to have like a positive influence on the people who are closest to me around here.
Yeah, that's awesome. When you said that, Dayton, when you first said you get influence, I'm like, are his friends racist or something? Like, what? What's going on here? But that's very wholesome today. That's great.
It's very.
You know anything about Whitehall as a city? The city of Whitehall, I've heard, is not necessarily the best.
Yeah,
for some of that stuff. So
it's funny because when I got my haircut today, I was talking with my barber, and we had like a conversation like very similar to like what you just said, Jacob. And he's he's a young guy, and like him and I, like we've hit it off like really well. He's thankful that there's people in Whitehall like me and like my friends that are being the change that we want to see.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Nice.
Joseph.
I'm gonna do habits that define you. So again, I think pretty sure I did this last year where I said reading my book once a week. I'm gonna say that. I'm not really gonna hold myself to it. Just the idea is like, yeah, once a week, yeah, all right, then it'll be in my head. More importantly, I put down hobby Mondays since I have Mondays off, and Alyssa's at work and whatever. So Mondays are usually a good day for me to do whatever. So I want to try to keep at least part of the day to like any one hobby. You know, in the winter, I like to go snowboarding, summer mountain biking or road biking or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
and like hopefully use my Mondays as like a time to work on my pack raft as well.
Mm-hmm.
But trying to set aside time pretty much every Monday for that. is-
Don't forget to finish Witcher 3.
Yeah, that's on the list too.
Joseph, you gotta finish this game, man. You gotta finish a video game.
Why?
You're so close.
I got my enjoyment out of it.
Okay. I thought. All right. Gabe, back to you.
Not done. No, I'm not done with the game. I'm done.
Yeah.
Just a quick aside to what Joseph was saying. I've started reading the book Power of Habit,
Good
and
book.
I have not been very habitual about it. I find it so ironic. Like, I need to read this book, and then it just stares at me.
Dude, I had
Like, I'll
that
read
book
it every night before I go to bed, and I've skipped like 4 nights.
I had that book sitting on my bookshelf staring at me like, huh, I should read that.
Yeah. I'm gonna do mental health and self-knowledge. I put last year, like, especially just kind of like living alone, I have a lot of time to reflect, and I feel like I've learned a lot about myself. Um, and I want to, some things that I like really want to focus on and like be more conscious of is I'm stealing this from a YouTube video from the YouTube channel In a Nutshell. Um, Fantastic video or
Do you
YouTube
not
channel.
pronounce the first word?
Nope.
Wait,
It's German.
Kurzgesagt?
Kurzgesagt? I don't know.
Kurzgesagt?
Just search In a Nutshell. They did this video on like basically like if you're feeling like dissatisfied in general because the internet is the way it is and you're always like kind of striving for the next thing, or like I don't know, there's always like this message online that like you got to be doing these crazy things all the time, that if you're like more grateful and like write down things that you are grateful for the day and like in your life, that it boosts your mood. And I bought their thing to support the channel and to support myself. Been doing it for a couple weeks, and it's like it does help. So I definitely want to keep that in the habit. Be more grateful about like what I have, and be more focused on that instead of like why don't I have these things. Be more thinking about all the great things that I do have in my life. So I'm gonna do that. Be a little bit more self-compassionate. That's been on my ear compass since we began doing this. I'm my own worst critic by a mile. Um, yeah, and I think using the time to reflect in a healthy manner, not like spiraling. And I don't know.
Yeah.
It's really easy to like have a thought compound on you, especially when there's no one there to like disrupt it. So, yeah.
Very nice. Yeah, before I do mine, I'm gonna cheat a little bit and do two, just because you, Joseph and Gabe, both just kind of sparked some things that I wanted to mention.
Ooh.
Just things that might help you guys or so help people listening possibly. So like with like the habit stuff and with like reading books, like something that my therapist has talked about that's been helpful to me and possibly helpful to people listening is like breaking down the task into the smallest possible like items and like just like doing one of them. So like literally being like for the book, like read 1 page and then put it down. Like just commit to reading 1 page, because like I have a issue where like on Saturdays especially, Saturdays are really hard for me because I'll end up just like on the couch like all day, like on my phone or watching stuff and not really doing anything productive. Because like when I think about the stuff I have to do, it's just like so massive. So breaking it down to like he's like you have to make it small enough that it's more appealing than clicking the next video on your phone. So like literally a task that could take like 15 seconds is like anything just to like get you away from that could be helpful.
Oh, I have bird brain reading books. Like,
Oh yeah.
I'll enjoy it and then be like, I haven't checked my phone in 2 seconds.
Something could happen.
Yeah.
And then the gratefulness thing you mentioned, Gabe, reminded me. There's a documentary on Netflix that came out recently called Stutz. That is Jonah Hill made it.
Yeah.
Did you watch it, Joseph?
No, I
I've seen
watched
the trailer.
the preview on it, but I was interested in it. I've heard of it.
Yeah. So for those who don't know, it's a documentary that Jonah Hill made about his therapist, whose last name is Stutz. And it's kind of a documentary. It's like part like therapy. It's just like, hey, here's some tools that can be helpful to you if you are struggling with stuff. Part like biography about the therapist and part kind of Jonah Hill opening up about his own issues. And it's really, really, really cool. And I would just say if anyone's like thinking about going to therapy, maybe isn't sure, or also doesn't want to pay for it, like just like check it out because there's some tools that like anybody can use. But they mentioned that in their Gabe where it's like trying to be in a state of gratefulness can be really helpful to like boosting mood. I have not tried it much, but
Yeah,
and I
I mean,
probably
I've
should.
even
But
noticed I've started to swap towards like as I'm going through even like an unexciting day. Like today,
mm,
I worked from home and it was so icy. I didn't even really walk or do anything crazy. Like you get into the mode of like thinking about things you were grateful for in the day, or
mm,
like things that are just like little things that become like more pleasurable.
yeah,
Mm.
yeah, I need to do that more because I've
Yeah.
been very ungrateful lately,
I
just like
guess
being annoyed with stuff.
I should have prefaced when I was talking. You don't need like the official one from the YouTube channel. That
Mhm.
I mean, it's overpriced because you're supporting the channel. You just need pen and paper if that's something you want to do. If it sounds interesting, um, and it really doesn't take that much time. It's like 2 minutes before bed. Reflect on your day. So
Yeah. But yeah, the actual one I wanted to do is the classic relaxation, hobbies, and creativity. Thought I wasn't gonna do it, but I did. I came back and I did it. So yeah, for this year, like similar to Gabe, like I want to try to be more creative and find ways to do that. So and also so part of that is like I want to try to take an honest crack at doing some content creation on my own because I've been having a lot of ideas lately, and I feel like it could be something that I'm good at or have fun with. So I want to start streaming again, and I have some like fun ideas for possible streams, and then trying to use those to make some videos and make some TikToks and stuff because that's how you got to do it these days. Um, and then for the podcast for both this one and Red String, I want to make like an honest push, like a marketing push, and try to get our numbers up because I mean we're having a good time and everything, but I also want to kind of flex my muscles and see like can we push this to the next level, you know?
you
Um,
got the pay request for the podcast fee,
yeah,
and
and I'm
you're
like,
like,
let's make it money,
yeah.
dude. So yeah, I wanna try to increase our audience a good amount. So probably doing like TikTok clips from this and stuff. And then the last thing I put on here because I don't want to forget about it is I've had this cross stitch I've been working on for like months that I keep just not working on because it's very daunting and I want to finish it. I want to finish it this year. It's a portrait of Luffy from One Piece, and it was way more complicated than I thought it was going to be when I bought the design. But I want to try to get that done this year. So yeah, and then the thing I had to do before is with community is like hopefully with like streaming I can build my own community as well. I try to cultivate like a nice online community. So um, yeah, there we go. That is our what is my next year will be about. Now we're moving on to the next two pages, which are 16 and 17. These are magical triplets for the year ahead. Um, so we can see how many of these we want to do. We can kind of just go around and do one at a time. You can pick from either two pages, and we'll just go until we want to stop. But I can start us off here. I'm going to start off with these three things I will have the power to say no to. And the first one I have is unsolicited advice. This is a big one I learned at the end of last year, especially with like social media stuff, is that sometimes you'll like read something that feels like, I don't know, you're being attacked for who you are, or just like you read something and it like really affects you. And it's like trying to remember that I didn't ask for this advice and I don't know this person and they don't know me. I don't have to believe what they say or take it as true, you know? So that's a big one. Power to say no to self-doubt. Um, I just haven't really been believing in myself a lot lately and the things I can accomplish. So I want to try to be better about that. And then saying no to feeling responsible for things out of my control. Um, Sometimes I can just get very anxious about a lot of things in the world, just like kind of large issues that I don't really have any effect over. And well, I think it's important to like stay informed on stuff so you can do things you like can control, like voting and stuff. Too much of it just kind of adds to anxiety. So trying to be better about not feeling responsible for everything that I come in contact with. But Dayton, what do you want to start with?
I am going to do. Oh, here it is. I will connect with my loved ones in these three ways. So one is this game that my friends here introduced to me. It's called We're Not Really Strangers. I don't know if I've talked about it on the podcast before.
I don't think so.
But I think it could be a fun game to play on this game stream coming up. I'll we it's easier just to play it, not to explain it. So I'm not gonna explain it.
Okay.
Make it an
Keep it-
ad.
Keep it a mystery. Yeah.
Why don't you
Yeah.
Stay
just
tuned
try
for
to
the game
explain
stream.
it for like 25 minutes?
Second one is high value time. So I talked about this in like my past year. I forget the exact wording that I used, but it was something about like high value, like genuine time, right? So like spending time with people because like I want to spend time with them and giving them like my full attention when I'm with them versus, you know, like being with people and like, you know, everybody's just like on their phones or whatever. And I mean, I think there's a time and a place for that. And it takes more, you know, mental energy to be like present with people when you're around them. And then the last one is just games. And I left that vague because there's a lot of different types of games. There's physical games, you know, there's board games, there's video games, there's a lot. And I think that that's, you know, just a good way to connect with people.
Oh yeah, I like it. Joseph.
These 3 things I want to achieve the most. Pack raft trip. I think it'd be fun, assuming it holds together. Consistently biking, and the 2 towers. I wanted to finish Fellowship of the Ring last winter. I'm like 2/3 through it. My goal is to finish it at the end of this month because I'm going on a trip with Alyssa at the end of the month. And I said by the time the plane lands back in Minneapolis, I will be done with that book. So
Okay.
I'm gonna hopefully start 2 towers soon.
You're calling your pitch here, Joseph.
Wait, are you like, have you made progress in the book, or are you not even over the cover yet? No, I'm
The
just asking.
Fellowship?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm 2/3 through it.
Oh, okay. So
I'm
you're
like,
good.
I don't know, like 300 pages, I think, something like that.
Okay.
Because it's technically set up in 2 books. It's weird.
Yeah.
And I'm, just past book 1. 'Cause they're not like exactly half, but yeah. So I want to finish 2 towers this year.
Gubberoonie.
God damn. That throws me off so much. I forgot to mention in my recap, I watched all of the Lord of the Rings in a week.
Oh, you did watch the others?
I watched all of them.
By yourself?
Yeah.
The weather was so bad, I just watched them.
All right. Did
Dude,
you watch
I
The
almost
Hobbit too?
watched the Fellowship of the Ring like the other night because we were talking about it.
Yeah, because we were talking about it at the brewery. No, I've read The Hobbit over Christmas break, and I'm like, hey, this is kind of interesting. So then I was like, ah, fuck it, I'll watch the first one. I was like, this is pretty good. So then I watched the other 2.
Okay.
I said there's a couple late nights because the movies are obnoxiously long, but I get the hype.
Yeah.
I know the answer, but I'm gonna ask for other people. Was it the theatrical or the extended editions?
It was the theatrical. So I do plan on reading the books, and then I want to watch the extended after reading the books. But I've got the other books to read first.
Is Frodo less of a little bitch in the books?
I think the more you understand the movies, the less of a little bitch he is.
I still hate him. I hate him with all my being.
I mean, isn't that the whole point? He turns into a little shit as it goes on because that's what the thing does to him.
Look, Sam wouldn't have turned into a little bitch. I'm calling it right now.
I don't know.
I think he
I'm not
definitely
getting into
would've.
this right now. We don't have the time.
Yeah,
to
that's another whole
discuss
2
this.
episodes.
Sam
was...
doesn't have any amount to care about it.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
On to my triplets. These 3 things I will dare to discover. I have Backroads in Minnesota, hopefully on 2 wheels. I put California / potentially. I didn't mention this in my other ones, but I now have a passport, so if it works out late 2023, I may look for an international trip, but it may be a 2024 thing. So I have a whole different country, ideally Germany. And then the last thing is my creative side.
Love it. I'm also going to do these 3 things I will dare to discover. I'm copying Gabe a lot tonight. First one is my passion for streaming. I already talked about, but yeah, I want to see what I can do and see if the ideas I have will turn out as well as I think they will. Dare to Discover advertisers for the podcast, we can do it. All right, we gotta get our numbers up, but I feel like we can get some ads in here. I've been doing some research on that, but
Oh.
and then the last one is trying dating again. I'm holding out to Minneapolis, but gotta take another go. As usual, as always happens, I'm back on the up. I'm like, I'm feeling pretty good about next time I give it a try, and then usually it starts and I go immediately down the gutter. But I'm willing to give it another go. So yeah, that'll be this year.
That's what's important.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with these 3 things I will love about myself. 1 is my energy. 2 is my drive. And then 3 is meandering thoughts. And how I don't know. I feel like it's self-explanatory. I can't really hold a thought process for very long, but it kind of leads to some fun places sometimes.
A weird way to say ADHD, but you know.
I don't think I have ADHD. I'm not
I know it's
sold.
super overdiagnosed. I just wanted to make a jab.
I'm not convinced I have ADHD.
Yeah, I don't think you do either.
I just think
As
I
someone
have,
who got ADHD tested, I don't think you do.
I think I just have, some tendencies that tend to overlap, but I don't think I fit the bill.
All right, Joseph.
These 3 places I will visit. I mentioned it in the year compass. I haven't talked about it tonight, but I really liked that I did 3 new state parks and that I held myself to it. So the 3 places I want to visit are 3 new state parks, which are the Bear and the Bean, which are 2 lakes that Alyssa and I almost went to earlier. There's Blue Mounds State Park and Itasca State Park. And Blue Mounds is like northwestern Minnesota, and Itasca is southwest, so a little bit further, and not really an area I've explored too much yet. And then I have an alternate for the Badlands because Alyssa and I also talked about that one and doing a trip, probably in the late spring. So, so I have that kind of as an alternate, kind of as a cheater. Who knows? We'll see. I'll
Have
count
you
it if
been
we
to
go.
Voyagers yet, or did you do that last year?
No, we didn't go all the way up to Voyagers.
That one looks cool, but it is
Yeah.
far.
Yeah, it's
very far.
We went up to Devil's Kettle, which is just past Grand Marais. Voyagers is like 40 miles north of Grand Marais.
It's
So
ridiculous.
it's quite a
basically
hike.
Canada.
Yeah. I mean, it's like it borders Canada, so.
Nice. Joseph, I appreciate that you picked your parks and you have a plan, because I was just reminded of when I was on dating apps and I saw so many people. It's like, my bucket list is visiting every state park before it's like, it's so boring. Like, they're cool and everything, but like, you just see it so often,
Yeah.
I don't believe they're actually going to do it, but you got a plan. I like it.
Well, I don't know about a plan.
I don't know if there's enough
thought of a
space in the
plan.
boxes for them to list what days they're planning on being, or safe for that matter. I'll be at the Badlands September 20th.
Yeah.
Gabe.
Yeah. I will connect with my loved ones in these 3 ways, and I have weddings, and weddings. Because both my brothers are getting married within a month of each other. So I will be spending a lot of time in Michigan, as well as bachelor parties, I'm sure. And then also a friend of our podcast is getting married in October, so I'll be back again for that. So weddings, see a lot of people, drink a lot of things, be in Michigan a lot. So
Very nice.
Indeed.
Let's do one more round here. I'm gonna end off with these 3 presents I will reward my successes. Normally I don't like this category, but I feel like I got some good ones this year. So the first one is just new video games. I just enjoy being kind of more current on stuff, and I'm trying to be better about, like, if I see something that looks interesting, I want to just try to get it and have fun with it. Second one is new equipment. By that, I'm thinking kind of like streaming equipment or just more like electronic stuff for my PC. I think could be fun or helpful. And then new kitchen gadgets. Like I haven't bought anything new fun for the kitchen in a while, so I got to get an air fryer. I know that.
Ooh, yeah, you do.
But there's a few other things that I kind of want to get to. So
All right, I bought a really nice rice cooker.
Mhm.
Like in like this one is just like so fucking nice.
It's a game
How,
changer.
how much is a nice rice cooker go these days?
I think this one retailed for like over 200.
Damn.
So then, what did you pay for it? Because
I
know
paid-
Dude, cheap rice cookers are like $20.
Dude, the rice out of these nice rice cookers is so good. And it plays a nice
It
little
cooks
jingle.
so much
It plays
Yeah,
Mary Had a
those
Little
are the good
Lamb.
ones. Those are the
You
those are the
can-
ones that.
You can link up your Spotify playlist to it.
No, Dave, I know exactly what you're talking about. So the ones that you always see in like the back of like Asian restaurants, like
Uh-huh.
it's the one that Asian families buy. So you know, like that's the good shit.
It is. It is
Yeah.
the good shit, dude. I'm planting that seed in your mind, Jacob.
I mean, I think there's other things higher on the list right now, but it's in there. It's someday. Someday I'll
Seeds
do it.
planted.
Mm-hmm.
All right,
Dayton, where do you
my
want
last
to
one.
grow your seed for this last one?
Okay.
I'm gonna do these three things I will pamper myself with regularly. So the first one, in all caps, energy drinks. um, and then and then the second one is film. And then the third one is scheduled unscheduled time. So that meaning
okay.
like time where I put it into my schedule that says I am not gonna do anything here.
I like
Gotcha. Then we said film. I got excited for a second. I thought you were talking about movies, and I'm like, oh wait,
Oh
no, it was
no,
camera.
hell no.
But that's still good. Joseph.
I will also do pamper myself regularly. I have trying new restaurants with Alyssa.
Mm.
It's always a fun time. There's actually a new vegan restaurant, fully vegan restaurant opening like down the block from us.
Hell
And
yeah.
they used to have a food truck and they do like burgers and chicken sandwiches and stuff. Quote, chicken sandwiches, obviously. And it was really fucking good. And they just opened like last week. So we're going, what's today? Thursday. So we're going Saturday, I think, or
Mhm.
Friday. So pretty soon I'll have an update
Hell
next
yeah.
podcast episode on how it is. I already know it's going to be great. So lazy days for gaming / anime because that's always a good time.
Oh yeah.
And then I have walks / bike rides alone because I like clearing my head on a bike ride or even just a walk around the block playing Pokemon Go because that's obvious.
Dude, Dayton, remember those vegan burgers we got with Andrea up in Vermont that we brought to the beach?
Oh yeah, dude.
Dude, those fucking slapped. Those were good as shit.
Dude, and that beach was really nice too.
That was a good time. That was a good
That
time.
was a very good
Vermont,
time.
Vermont's a cool state.
Vermont is a very cool state. Can confirm.
Mm-hmm. Gub, close us out on this topic here.
Sure. I'll do this year. I will be bravest when I have number one, doing bigger trips on my own. Big cities still freak me out a little bit, so I want to go to some big ass city by myself and figure it out. Number two, I have introduced myself to new people and getting more comfortable talking to strangers. I think this is something I got way better at this last year, just as I don't know, kind of stopped getting out of the COVID, like we don't talk to random people. Like social muscles kind of atrophied and my anxiety got way worse than it ever has been. And it's been noticeably better. And feel like, yeah, just something I want to maintain and even, improve on. So for sure want to work on that. And then the last one is just pushing my limits physically in new situations. And that's mostly just reference to the aforementioned century ride that I want to do. I know what it can feel like in dark places. Dayton and I, at one point, I don't know how he was feeling, but there was a couple points where I was like towards the very end where when it was all sand and uphill that I wanted to
Fuck that part.
Wanted to die. So yeah, it took a lot to push, but I was really proud when I did it. So I know there'll be plenty of that when you double the mileage. So hopefully
like it.
not less sand.
I hate the sand.
It's
It's
rough.
coarse and it gets everywhere.
Yeah.
All right, let's go on to the next page here, page number 18. 6 sentences about my next year, and go through them and say as many or as few as you would like. We'll just rapid fire these. So again, I can start us off. This year, I will not procrastinate anymore on living for myself. Just gonna want to try to make decisions that are for me and I feel like are the best for me, and not really considering other people's opinions of me. Um, this year, I will draw the most energy from questioning and analyzing my thoughts. Um, that's just kind of reference to cognitive behavioral therapy. That's kind of the whole deal. Is like when you have anxious thoughts, kind of hold them and like, okay, is this actually logical? Does this actually make sense? And I've been doing that more frequently, and that's helped me give kind of more confidence in myself. So I'm getting energy from that. This year, I'll be bravest when streaming again and dating. Self-explanatory, I think, for that one. This year, I will say yes when an exciting but possibly scary opportunity presents itself. Scary just meaning like it causing me anxiety. But if I feel like it's going to be good for me, then I want to try to push through and do it. This year, I advise myself to sort myself out before trying to help others out in a big way. Um, and then lastly, this year will be special for me because I've learned more in therapy than I ever have before. Really thankful for my new therapist. He's awesome, and I've just grown a lot by working with him. So very thankful for that, and hopefully it'll pay off next year.
Nice.
Yeah.
So the first one, this year I will not procrastinate anymore on. I left that one blank. I couldn't think of anything that I had really procrastinated on. Maybe next year I'll
Procrastinated
procrastinate.
on that
Maybe
question.
yeah. Maybe next year I'll have more to procrastinate on.
When you're cracking an energy drink at the butt crack of dawn, you're not really procrastinating on much. I feel.
Yeah.
Sleeping maybe.
No, I generally get enough sleep on that. This year I will draw the most energy from, and I put quote, mundane everyday occurrences with friends. Just to kind of be more present in the moment. This year I'll be bravest when my anxiety tells me otherwise. So Jacob, that kind of relates back to like with you, like, does it really make sense for me to be thinking this right now?
Yeah.
Then this year I will say yes when I'm not stretched too thin already. This year I advise myself to keep taking risks in social settings. I think that one's also kind of self-explanatory. But there's a lot of benefits to taking risks in social settings. Talking to people that you normally wouldn't, sort of thing. And then this year will be special for me because it is my first year as an adult in West Michigan. So I of course grew up here, but all of my like adult years, even through college, I haven't been on Lake Michigan. So I think it's going to be fun, and I'm going to get to experience a different side of West Michigan than what I'm used to.
Oh yeah. Joseph.
All right. This year I will not procrastinate anymore on non-time dependent tasks. I am pretty awful on things that don't have deadlines, i.e., hanging up this Red Wings poster behind me. It was where our TV is now mounted, and it sat on the floor in the corner right over there for like a month and a half. And Alyssa was not happy with me. This year I'll draw the most energy from wanting to complete my pack raft for a trip. I'm really, really jazzed about even just thinking about doing it, so I'm hoping that'll be enough to push me to get it done. Fingers crossed. This year I'll be bravest when I only have myself to blame. I will say yes when I'm thinking about getting out of my comfort zone. And this year I advise myself to not let my interests take a back seat. And that's where I'm going to leave it.
Gabe?
Yeah. You sure it's not Gabarino or whatever the abomination?
Your name's
Gabarino.
Gabe. I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, you're gaslighting him now.
Yeah. You weren't doing this with anybody else. What did I do to you? This year I will not procrastinate anymore on, and I put trying more creative outlets, and reading more, which power habit, I guess. Maybe that'll help. This year I'll draw the most energy from, ironically, I have exercise and rest next to each other, but I think knowing when to rest is just as important as exercising. And then finally, friends for social energy. This year I'll be bravest win, and I have doing. I already answered this one because I literally can't read, and I thought this was part of the triplet one for some reason. I scrolled past, so I already answered this, so I'm gonna skip it. This year I will say yes win, and I have going to new places and trying new recipes, and getting invited to things that may seem out of my comfort zone. This year I advise myself to be more patient and kind to myself, enjoy the little moments between people, and be grateful for what you have instead of jealous of what you don't, and find more contentment in being alone. And then this year will be special for me because it is my first full year with a new job and a new place, all to myself. So pretty big.
Definitely. All right, let's close it out, boys. One more thing, page 19. My word for the year ahead, if you're willing to share it. So this is a word to symbolize and define the year ahead. I will go first, and I picked a little controversial one. I'm going with selfish. I want to try to be a little bit more selfish this year, and like I was saying, live for myself, be confident in the things that I like and the things that I want to do, and just do what I think is best for me. So, yeah,
I like it. My word is mindfulness.
I have adventure.
Exciting.
Mine is selfless. Just kidding.
Fuck you.
Mine is grateful.
That's a good one. There we go. All right, everyone. Thank you all for listening to this week's episode of the Engineers Without Filters podcast. Hopefully, hearing us has go through this has inspired you to do one yourself. Again, you can do that at yearcompass.com and make some goals for this coming year. They're better than New Year's resolutions. It's a little bit more thought out, not as gimmicky, and might be helpful. So, yeah. But as always, you can find our show on Mondays on podcast services and YouTube. Don't forget to follow us on Twitch at ewf_podcast. And again, I'll be streaming games every other Thursday starting, actually, when you hear this coming Thursday. So yeah, until then, thanks for listening. Bye.
Bye. Yeah.